Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
An exclusive for you tonight, the father of a 6-year-old Muslim boy with special needs saying a substitute teacher thought his child was a terrorist and called police. The teacher claims the boy said Allah and boom boom, but the father says his son can't speak. Our Randy Wallace has been looking into this for us tonight throughout the evening. Hi, Randy.
Hey, Caitlin. Mohammed Suleiman's father says his little boy has the mental capacity of a 1-year-old and will require constant care for the rest of his life. That dad says his family's life has been turned upside down by an allegation so bizarre, it's laughable.
Mohammed was born with Down syndrome, chromosome 21.
The 6-year-old also has intellectual difficulties and doesn't speak.
He needs care all the time.
Mohammed attends C.J. Harris Elementary in Pearland. Mayor Suleiman says his regular teacher left and a substitute teacher called the Pearland police about his son. Suleiman says the school told the officer Mohammed can talk.
I went to the principal. She told me he makes full sentences. He speaks.
That's not true, is it?
No, it's not true. He doesn't speak at all.
But Suleiman says the substitute teacher told police the boy would reportedly say Allah and boom, boom, boom.
They claim that he's a terrorist.
What do you think about that?
This is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is discrimination, actually. It's not implied discrimination. It's 100% discrimination.
The teacher's reported accusation against the special needs child prompted a police investigation and one by Child Protective Services as well.
The last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the hardest of my life. And even my wife, my kids, crying. They were crying even a few days ago, but I told them, okay, everything is fine.
In my opinion, based on everything I've heard from the police department and speaking with the administration from the school, that this was a story that was piecemealed together by a substitute teacher alleging this child was sexually harassing her, the teacher, and possibly being a terrorist, a 6-year-old kid.
They did conduct an investigation but found no need for police involvement. CPS says its investigation remains open. A spokesperson for Pearland ISD says the district can't release any student or personnel information due to privacy laws. In the studio, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Cops shake down 6yo boy with Down syndrome after teacher accuses him of being a terrorist. Police descended on an elementary school after an innocent little boy who is mute and has Down syndrome was accused of being a terrorist. By Matt Agarist, December 1, 2017. Pearland, Texas. Because of America's tendency to both provoke and buy into irrational fear of Muslims, a mute 6-year-old boy with Down syndrome was accused of being a terrorist last month, prompting a police response and investigation. Mohammed was born with Down syndrome chromosome 21, said the boy's father Mar Suleiman to Fox 26 Houston. The small boy is unable to speak because of his intellectual difficulties and requires round-the-clock care. Last month, police were called to C.J. Harris Elementary School in Pearland because a substitute teacher accused the small boy with Down syndrome of shouting terroristic threats. "He's mute. It's not true, he doesn't speak at all," said Mar. He also said the substitute teacher told police the boy would reportedly say Allah and boom, Fox 26 reported. "She claimed he was a terrorist," said Mar. "This is so stupid. It's discrimination. Actually, it's not implied discrimination, it's actual discrimination." Advertisement. Rather than see the overt and irrational fear that would cause a grown woman to think a mute 6-year-old with Down syndrome is a terrorist, police actually opened an investigation into the child. This insanity not only sparked a police investigation but also prompted Child Protective Services to get involved. "The last 3 to 4 weeks have been the hardest of my life," said Mar. "My wife and kids were crying a few days ago and I told them everything is fine. The case is now gaining the attention of local news and activists as it highlights the power of the state and media to stir up blatant ignorance and hatred toward innocent people based solely on their religious preference. Read more. School cop brutally beat a 16-year-old boy for using profanity. In my opinion, based on everything I heard from the police department and speaking with the administration from the school, that this was a story piecemealed together by a substitute teacher alleging this child was sexually harassing her, the teacher, and possibly being a terrorist, said community activist PINELLAS, a 6-year-old kid. The Pearland Police Department told Fox 26 that their investigation into the terrorist activities of a 6-year-old boy with Down syndrome did not warrant further police involvement. However, the CPS feels differently and their case is still currently open. The impact of fools spreading hate has already begun to materialize and is sending ISIS into a fury of celebration as creating a divide between Muslims and everyone else is their stated mission. As the Free Thought Project's J. Sermopoulos pointed out, if there is one thing that Islamic fundamentalists and Islamophobic fascists agree on, it's that there should be no gray zone, only black and white. The gray zone is the zone of peaceful coexistence. Eliminating the gray zone, and rendering a world as black and white as the flag of the Islamic State is the ultimate goal of fundamentalists on all sides. In fact, a recent ISIS publication, titled Extinction of the Gray Zone, made clear that the strategy has been at play for over a decade. The gray zone is critically endangered, rather on the brink of extinction. Its endangerment began with the blessed operation of September 11, as these operations manifested two camps before the world for mankind to choose between, a camp of Islam, and a camp of Kufr, the Crusader Coalition. These are the same sentiments expressed by George W. Bush when he infamously said, read more, school cop arrested after surveillance video showed him body slam 13-year-old boy. Either you are with us or with the terrorists. We are witnessing Muslims being thrown off of buses because of ignorant passengers fearing for their lives. We see physical assaults waged by fearful pawns in ISIS's propaganda campaign against peaceful Muslims, who've harmed no one. There has been an escalation of anti-Muslim attacks in the United States over the past 2 years as this divide grows. These attacks range from rubbing human feces and leaving pigs' heads outside of mosques, to beating and even killing people for their religion. If you are willing to harass, hurt, or kill an innocent person because of their religion, you are no better than ISIS. You are also hurting the fight against terrorism. According to recent polls and studies conducted in the last few years, Muslims have been crucial in helping law enforcement find terror suspects in the United States. Many have served in the military protecting the country against terrorists. And many Muslims have been highly outspoken against terrorist organizations. As TFTP reported, 70,000 clerics came together, representing the majority of the Muslim world, and publicly denounced ISIS as a threat to humanity. Also, a Duke University study found more terrorism suspects and perpetrators were brought to the attention of law enforcement by members of the Muslim American community than were discovered through U.S. government investigations. The way to truly defeat ISIS is by rendering their fear and divisive tactics impotent. The U.S. needs to show ISIS, and those being manipulated by their tactics, that tolerance and freedom are far more powerful than bigotry and hate. Read more, school cop fires gun in school for no reason, hitting a teacher in the neck, not arrested. Also, Americans will do well to remember how it was that ISIS came to be in the first place, and avoid future murderous blunders that will inevitably fill the ranks of extremist groups with even more susceptible victims of Western foreign policy. You can bow down to the will of ISIS by allowing their hate-filled rhetoric and divisive tactics to cloud your mind with fear and hatred, thus leading to disabled 6-year-old boys getting accused of terrorism. Or, you can peacefully rise up and stand against those who would drive a wedge through the heart of humankind. The choice is yours.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair uses, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.